Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Now, if you're watching this video, you might be like, yay, this series is, this is the final part, a movie's gonna be coming out, whatever. But I just want to tell you guys that I probably won't be able to upload for a while. Maybe, just maybe, I'll be able to upload on Friday. But basically what's going on is I'm gonna be leaving for a school trip and literally just going like somewhere else, like to another city, and I won't have my computer with me for like a couple days, so I won't be able to upload for a bit. But with that said, please do subscribe. We're 3 subscribers away from 700 subs, or maybe I'm already at 700 subs, but yeah, please do subscribe. It helps me out a lot. And with that, let's get right into the video. So, last time we left off, Naruto was just heading to the final part of the Chunin exams. So, we skip all the way to Naruto walking into the arena. And basically, he walks in, sees everyone, sits down, and realizes, oh, I'm sitting down. I'm literally like going first, like why did I sit down? And since Naruto's feeling lazy, he decides, you know what, I'll just show off real quick to everyone, as Neji stays down there being not forgetting that he's going up first, and just waits there being like, that idiot went all the way up, like, you're not going to be watching any games, we're going up first. Naruto's like, okay, as he controls himself through time, which he can do, as he reverses himself in time and puts himself to the position he was beforehand. And Neji's like, yo, this guy can fly? Because he doesn't understand Naruto's ability. And Naruto's like, okay, well, Neji, before we start this match, just want to shake your hand, I just have to before I have the game. It's just a sort of like respect sort of thing. And Neji, not understanding what's going on, is like, okay, I guess, as he shakes his hand. And he's like, but you should know that I'm gonna win this, because I'm destined to win this, and I am blah blah blah. Neji does his entire boring speech about how he's destined to win this, and Naruto couldn't care less, because at this point, he did everything he had to do, and he has touched Neji now, so Neji is done for. And the guy says, start. And, so Neji runs straight at Naruto, saying, 8 trigrams, 64 palms, and he starts attacking Naruto. But for some reason, he just feels slow. And, he finishes his attack, but only a quarter of his attacks actually managed to land on Naruto, because for some reason he just couldn't move at full speed. So Naruto looked down and smirked as he said, you think you're gonna win, aren't you? As Neji's like, yeah, of course I'm gonna win, as he moves in with his gentle fist and tries striking Naruto. Naruto just takes a flying Raijin kunai, throwing it behind him, and teleports to him. As he holds it right to the back of Neji's neck, pointing the tip at Neji's back, as he's like, so, looks like I've got you in quite a predicament, haven't I? You gonna give up yet? As Neji's like, you wish. Guess what? I have another move. As he says, rotation, but he can't move. So he's like, wait, I can't move. What is this? And he can't speak, as he's just stuck. He can't move, as suddenly he feels this immense aura coming from behind him, as from just the side of his eye, with his peripheral vision, he can see Naruto with his eyes a pale color and just this whitish aura just surrounding him, as Naruto lifts up has his hand lifted up pointing at Neji, as he says, "Neji Hyuga, you think you're so strong. I feel bad for you." As he starts punch barraging Neji, punch after punch after punch after punch, and the people are looking at in awe, being like, Neji is moving. Naruto's punching him so hard, but Neji's just frozen there. And Naruto keeps on kick after kick, as he says, "For my finishing move, Rasengan," as he slams it into Neji's back, finally releasing him from his state frozen in time, as Neji, because he was frozen in time, his body couldn't actually get all of those hits from Naruto punching him. But the instant Naruto released him from his state frozen in time, all of those kicks and punches he landed earlier registered at the same time. So to Neji, it felt like he got kicked 100 and kicked and punched 100 times and got Rasengan at the same time. And from that immense pain, he just immediately passed out. And with that, Naruto won his match. And this is when we move on to the next match, as this is right when Sasuke and Gaara, well, not the next match, but we skipped the Naruto versus Gaara versus Sasuke's match. I'm sorry, guys, I just can't speak today. Gaara versus Sasuke's match, and Naruto just waits on the field for a little bit, because he has a little plan in mind, right? And he sees Sasuke coming down, and he's like, good luck. And also, Gaara comes down as well, as Naruto just brushes his arm against Gaara's, just slightly bumping into him. Gaara's like, watch where you're going, as he shoots sand at Gaara. But Naruto just uses a flying Raijin mark that he had already thrown up to the roof, because he knew Gaara would do this. So the instant Gaara tries attacking him with sand, he looks back and sees Naruto's gone. So he just ignores it and he says, I'll get you for that. As he moves onto the field, and the match between Gaara and Sasuke begins. Now, this starts off with the whole thing where they start fighting, and Gaara creates his ultimate dome thing, and Sasuke goes back, gains momentum, uses Chidori, pierces through it, and stabs Gaara. This is when Naruto kind of just senses that a genjutsu, a attack is coming, and he's good enough to release himself from the genjutsu, and he doesn't fall for it. As the instant this happens, he's like, I knew something like this would happen, as he points his hand out towards Gaara, as Gaara is in his half-transformed state, with Temari and Kankuro trying to bring him, trying to escort him away, as he just points his hand in Gaara's general direction where he went off, and Gaara slowly just drifts back to him, back through time. And Temari and Kankuro just chase back after Gaara, being like, what's going on? As Naruto puts Gaara back into the position, freezes him in time, and tells Sasuke and Sakura to deal with Gaara, as Naruto just continues to hold him frozen in time, and Sakura and Sasuke, combined with the efforts of some other Jonin, managed to not only just trap Gaara so he can't move or can't do anything, and they just make sure he's completely immobilized and trapped and he can't move. And then they also end up capturing Temari and Kankuro, so Gaara never gets to transform into his full Shikaku state. And while they're trying to handle that, Naruto goes off because he felt his dad fighting Orochimaru. And so with that, seeing Orochimaru and Minato fighting up on top of a roof, he's like, well, not like Orochimaru will be able to be father anyways, but I guess I can go help out. As Minato is using his flying Raijin kunais to fight Orochimaru, and Naruto concentrates as he manages to teleport to one of Minato's flying Raijin marks, and Naruto appears within the barrier. Now Orochimaru is shocked at this because he's like, how did he get in here? And then he realizes, oh, Naruto can use a flying Raijin mark. And Naruto's like, well, if it isn't Orochimaru, Father, I know exactly how to deal with him. As Minato just nods, as Orochimaru's like, damn it, that kid again. And now with Minato here, it's gonna be very troublesome. But I'll just be careful. I won't fall for whatever genjutsu or whatever that freezing thing was he did to me earlier. And Naruto just extends his hand with Orochimaru trying to dodge, but little does he know, that's not quite how this works, as suddenly he freezes, and he can't move. Naruto's eyes turn a completely pale color as, once again, this mysterious aura surrounds him, and using his full power, he freezes Orochimaru. Orochimaru tries to move, but Naruto, using all his strength, still manages to hold him in place, as Minato says, thanks. This will be easy. As he creates a clone and uses the Reaper Death Seal with that clone, completely managing to seal away Orochimaru's soul. This means that unless Kabuto gets that mask thing and frees Orochimaru's soul from the Reaper and then revives him, he's not coming back to life for a really long time, right? And the Sound 4 try to come in and help Orochimaru, saying that he's about to die, but that's no use, since Minato, after killing Orochimaru, they just deal with them too. And with that, the Konoha Crush ends in a miserable and embarrassing complete failure for Orochimaru and the Sand Village, who were being manipulated by Orochimaru. Now, after this, it's just like, oh, okay, well, it's done. Now, Naruto never actually has to go search for Tsunade, because, first of all, they already have a Hokage that's really good, and that Hokage is still alive after the Konoha Crush, and also there are nearly no casualties. So they don't actually need Tsunade. Although Minato probably does eventually go to find Tsunade during Naruto's 3-year training, that is something that's going to happen later, which is a perfect transition to Naruto's 3-year time skip. So, obviously, during this time skip, Naruto is going to do, 3 years worth of training. Now, normally Naruto went with Jiraiya, but this time it's going to be a lot different, because he's going to be training with a lot of different people at a lot of different times to completely maximize this time he has and learn as much as possible. First, he trains with Shisui, just completely mastering everything he's got and, getting really, really good, right? Then, training with Minato, he also manages to increase the amount of flying Raijin marks he can use, because normally he could only use one at a time, but now he can use a bunch, just like Minato. At least 5, right? Let's say he can use up to 5. And not only that, but he also went to train with Jiraiya and gained a bit of control over the Nine Tails with the help of Minato, because he also has the Nine Tails sealed within him, and also learned Sage Mode, because guess what? Jiraiya can teach Naruto Sage Mode, and if Naruto in the original could learn it in 1 week, this Naruto can learn it in 3 years. He has 3 years to learn something that in the original he learned in 1 week, so I feel like it's only reasonable that he does learn it. And he also learns the Rasen Shuriken. Now, I'm gonna skip back to the whole Sage Mode thing. And while Naruto is trying to learn Sage Mode, he finally manages to do it as he opens his eyes and It's the yellow Sage Mode eye with the black line inside of it. As Jiraiya's like, wow, Naruto, you did it. That was incredibly fast that you learned it. And Naruto's like, yeah, but I don't know. This power, it's great, but it almost feels as if I can go a step higher. And Jiraiya's like, what do you mean? And Naruto says, hush, be quiet. As Naruto sits back down and starts concentrating, closing his eyes, and suddenly his this entire aura starts surrounding him as Naruto starts giving off an incredible amount of energy as he concentrates and concentrates and concentrates until a huge burst of energy comes off of him as he opens his eyes once more. And now, instead of their normal yellow color, his Sage Mode eyes look a little something like the Tensei gun, but a little bit more pale, with the Sage Mode line inside of it. As Jiraiya looks at Naruto's eyes and the immense aura coming off of him, he's like, Naruto, what have you done? And Naruto's like, I don't know, but this power, it's like nothing I've ever felt before. As Naruto looks around, he can see so many things. This eye that he has basically, first of all, lets him see everything in slow motion, right? Like somebody's trying to punch you, he can perceive that in slow motion. Not only that, his eyes also let him see into the future. So, for example, if Sasuke is about to do a fireball jutsu, he sees he's gonna do that fireball jutsu before Sasuke even does it, right? So Naruto's eyes are very broken, and this is Naruto's time Sage Mode, and Naruto's like, this gives me an idea. As he bites his thumb and puts it into the ground, and he says, summoning jutsu, and suddenly a dragon appears. This dragon is a huge dragon, and it has this pale but slightly light blue hue, and Naruto looks at it as he's like, yo, this power is amazing. And the dragon looks at him and says, is that you, the Time Sage? At last, you are back. The last time I saw a Time Sage was eons ago. Can't believe it. Finally, a new master. As Naruto's like, just looking at this dragon, he's like, yo, this is so OP. And not only this, but using Time Sage Mode, he masters a bunch of crazy new time abilities that basically give him almost a complete control over time. And not only this, but now he not only can he just control certain things through time, he can control everything in a certain radius around him at the same time, which is incredibly OP. So after the 3-year time skip, Naruto heads back to the village as Minato's like, great timing. We really need you back. Thing is, the Akatsuki are going to attack us, and not really going to. They already have. First, they sent Sasori and Deidara. They attacked our village, but we were able to deal with them. Other Akatsuki members have been around our village and trying to attack, and we've been barely holding off. But as the days pass, more and more of them are gathering, and if you weren't here, we wouldn't stand a chance. As Naruto being like, and hearing this is like, don't even worry about it, cause this, at this power now, none of them stand a chance. As suddenly they hear an explosion outside. As Naruto looks out, he's like, "That's them, isn't it?" Minato's like, "Yeah, let's go." And Naruto says, "No, leave this to me." As he bites his thumb, putting it to the ground, and summons his dragon, going on top of it as he soars through the skies, going out to where the explosion was heard. And as he looks down, he sees them, the Akatsuki. As Naruto is like, this will be easy. As Naruto activates his time sage mode, and he sees all of the Akatsuki in slow motion and all of their next moves. So he's like, "Go!" As his his time dragon blasts a huge beam of energy from out of its mouth, incinerating quite a few of the weaker Akatsuki members and some of the paths of pain. Now, Naruto jumps down as he says, "Zawarudo," just kidding. But he freezes time in like a 10-50 meter radius around him, as most of the Akatsuki members are within this radius and get completely frozen in time as Naruto dashes from one Akatsuki member to the other, just destroying all of them and using Rasengans and other moves, just completely easily destroying them. Now, this is when Obito comes in, and he tries to attack Naruto from behind, but Naruto doesn't get phased at all, as he literally lets Obito stab him. And Obito, seeing this, is in shock, as he's like, "Wait, why isn't he moving?" As Obito goes around him, and Obito just pulls the black rod out of his back and stabs it into Obito. But Obito manages to use Kami just in time. As Naruto's like, "Good try." As he touches his body, and his body reverts right back to where it was before Obito stabbed him, basically healing himself completely. After that, Naruto just goes over and starts killing all of the Akatsuki members except for like Obito and Nagato. And seeing this, Obito goes to Nagato, taking his Rinnegan just before Naruto can finish him off. As Naruto's like, "Damn it, what is that power you have?" And Obito's like, "It's called, well, actually, why should I share it with you? I can just phase through your attacks. It's that simple. There's not much to it." As Naruto's like, well, let's see about that. As Naruto and Obito get into a battle, with Obito trying to attack Naruto, but with Naruto's insane perception, especially with his newfound eyes, Obito really just doesn't stand a chance. And especially after Naruto starts using his flying Raijin kunais, it's really, Naruto has the upper hand easily. And Obito, finally, Naruto can land a good punch on Obito, as Obito's like, "Dang it!" As luckily for Obito, his mask didn't break, but also luckily for Naruto, he touched Obito, which meant as Naruto said, "It's game over." And Obito's like, "What do you mean?" And then he froze, as Naruto slowly and dramatically walked up to him and said, "Well, any last words?" As he said, "Oh, I forgot. You can't talk. Well, too bad." As he took out his kunai and sliced Obito's throat, finishing him off, and then getting rid of all the bodies of the Akatsuki. He said, "Well, that's that, I guess." And with that, the Akatsuki had been dealt with, and any traces of the Akatsuki, such as Zetsu, did attempt to, afterwards, long time after, right, he did attempt to, come back, reform an Akatsuki, whatever, but Naruto ended up catching him, and this time, found Zetsu and was able to, well, not kill Zetsu, but first he caught him, and then he used his dragon to completely, like, incinerate Zetsu to a subatomic level, which means, well, yeah, he's dead. And, Naruto became the new Hokage, this time without Kakashi becoming the Hokage. Naruto just became the Hokage because, well, why not? And yeah, that is going to be the end of this What If. If you did enjoy it, please do subscribe, because I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. But with that, that's all I've got to say, and goodbye.